for a girl. She's infected. If anyone pass through...
Do we have a plan to stop them?
I think we can hold them off until winter.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2021 action film Last Man Down. A film that is directed by Fansu Njai, and it is co-written by Daniel Stuyson, who also stars in the film, as well as Olga Kent, Daniel Neem, and Madeline Vall. Now here are some of the character names in this film, and it might give you an idea of the kind of film you're going to look forward to here. You've got a character called Granite, you've got a character called Commander Stone, and the main character is called John Wood. Now those are masculine names, even though the Granite name is for a female character. Right, but in all seriousness, what is this film about? Well, there is some mysterious virus that has taken place that has killed many thousands and millions of people, etc., etc. There's a character called John Wood, played by Daniel Stuyson, who has left this military organisation for reasons, and he's living a quiet life out in a cabin in some woods. One day there is a wounded woman turns up at his cabin, who seems to be very much in the sights of this military organisation. They want her back really badly, because she might be the connection to the cure for this huge disease. John's not having that, so he decides to have like a one-man war against this military organisation. And lots of bodies pile up following this. Right, what are my thoughts on Last Man Down? Well, I'm going to get the positives out of the way first, because you might be getting a hint here that this ain't a great film, and you'd be right, it's not. But what this film is, it's a throwback to simpler times in the 80s. It's very much like an action film you would get back in the 80s, like one of those B-movie action films. Very simple storyline, very dodgy dialogue, but there's some actual decent action scenes in here too. But it was striking how out of date it felt, if you like, in many ways, this film. But there are aspects of it that are cheesy as hell, but quite enjoyable too. If you like very simple action films, there's quite a bit here to enjoy. But it's also filled with dialogue, like the character John Wood says things like, "I'll have to prepare for war and pray for peace." And the female character that he is helping to protect, at one point in the film when they're preparing to fight back, and honestly, I nearly choked on my drink when she said this. It was so funny. She looks at him after they've just reloaded their weapons, and she says, and I'm going to swear now, guys, I don't swear often on this channel, "Hey John, you're one bad motherfucker." And he replies, "Sure I am." Those are just two small snippets of the kind of dialogue you can expect in this film. Now, I think it's a UK-based film, and also I think it's Swedish as well, so I'm guessing much of it was filmed in Sweden. And many of the actors on display here, English isn't their first language choice, including Daniel Stuyson. I'm sure, did I think he Norwegian? Yes, he's Norwegian. And it looks the part, clearly. I mean, he's hulking, he's muscular. He pulls off the action scenes absolutely quite fine, actually. I don't know if he's got a history of stunt work or whatever. He's fine. But his acting needs work. Delivers many of his lines like he's a robot, as do many of the other characters. But some of that could be to do with the fact that English wasn't their first language. But the acting isn't great. But let's be honest, do you really watch one of these films and then, debate whether the acting was brilliant or not? No, it's a cheap B-movie type action film. You shouldn't really worry about the acting here, which is a relief, because, it ain't great by most of the cast. There's some really unintentionally hilarious scenes. There's this military organization. You know, it's full of these buff, macho soldiers, male and female. And there's this one scene where this female character proceeds to beat the crap out of her own men and kill some of them, just to, I don't know really why she did it. It just seemed so counterproductive to me, which almost seemed to suggest as well that was going to set up maybe a big fight later on in the film that never happens. It was just bizarre. It was just like an excuse to say, right, we've got this buff woman in the film. She's really badass. She can do martial arts and she can beat everybody up. Let's show that. But it meant nothing. It didn't mean anything. There's loads of flashback scenes in the film that feel like filler. You don't really see the result of this disease, which is the theme of the day for all films these days, it would seem, isn't it? You don't get to see any of that, really. And there's lots of awkward scenes. There's a scene where he's having a shower outside and he's naked, and this woman he's protecting walks past him and they're both kind of naked, admiring each other. It was like, ooh, a bit creepy. But what I'm going to say, guys, I'm going to be quite kind to this one. I'm going to give it 5 out of 10. That's because the action is competent and it's a real throwback to these 80s films that we all used to love and enjoy back in the day. But it ain't a good quality film. It's unintentionally hilarious at times, but it's also pretty watchable. So 5 out of 10 from me. So I hope you found this review useful. Thanks for watching, everybody. I will be back with more content very, very soon.